Greetings to you from wherever you're watching us. This is the Thursday edition of Sports Tonight. I'm Yemi Adebayo. There's a lot to talk about on the show tonight. This is the day after the big day. Our hearts were in our mouths, but the Super Eagles were able to cross the line. They're in the final of the African Nations Championship currently going on in Morocco. I'm very sure you have a lot to say. And tonight, we want to let you have your say on the show, because there's a lot of things to talk about, from the Super Eagles to a whole lot of things happening on the domestic scene. At some point, we will also travel abroad, see what's happening with the Court of Arbitration for Sport and Russia, all the stories. Sepp Blatter, the former FIFA president, also in the news, spitting fire. We'll talk about him as well. But let me pause a little and just bring you into all that we're doing as quickly as I can, because there's a lot to do tonight. In case you join us for the first time, this is how you can be a part of the show. We always like to let you know that you're crucial, you are important to us, and we want to know what you feel about what's going on in the exciting world of sports. So this is how you can get across to us. You can get across to us on Facebook. You can get across to us on Twitter. That's the handles on your screen at channels_sports, and Facebook. Get across to us, channels _sports. Speak up and be heard. That's it. So you do that. Tell us how you feel about those issues we've talked about earlier, and also if there's something you feel we should be talking about that I've not talked about already, you can also let us know about that. All right, let me quickly introduce my partner on the show. Guess who's back? Keep guessing. But I have so much pleasure to. It's been a while, so I'm a little excited. All right, today Koiki joins me tonight. It's been a while we've done this together, but let me welcome you back.
Thank you very much. Your excitement is quite evident.
Okay.
And it's understandable.
All right. It's nice to have you join us.
Thank
you. A lot is happening. I mean, take your pick. African Nations Championship, the Nigeria Professional Football League, Sepp Blatter in the news.
Transfer deadline day yesterday as well.
Yesterday, you know, a lot. But we have to start with the Super Eagles. And your impression generally. We've seen 5 matches now, and your impression?
Well, congratulations to the team, the technical crew led by Salisu Yusuf, and of course the footballers themselves. They've done brilliantly well to go where no Nigerian team before them has ever been, qualifying for the final of the African Nations Championships. Having said that, we must also remember that this team didn't exactly have the best of preparations. There were no fancy training tours, no high profile in the international friendly matches. So it's a team it's a hodgepodge team that was put together in just, what, 3-4 weeks, and they've gotten to the final of a major African competition. So that is also commendable as well. But having said, maybe that's why you can probably excuse the somewhat substandard play. I've not been really impressed with many of their games. It's been a Jekyll and Hyde performance most of the time. They played well against Rwanda, couldn't score. They played well against Libya, managed to score 1. They played well against Equatorial Guinea, managed to come up with 3. But they played abysmally against Sudan. Almost cost them the a chance in the competition yesterday. But they did exactly what they needed to do. They got the win. They got to the final. So they must be commended for getting this far. All right. Okay.
All right. Let's listen to the key actors, what they had to say immediately after that game. For some of us, our hearts was in our mouths. At some point I couldn't watch anymore. And so let's listen to the guys, calm, cool, after that game, knowing that they have a place in the final, made history already. First Nigerian set of guys to make it to the final. So let's listen to the coach and the players, their reaction immediately after that semi-final win.
The players have done very well. They have shown they have character. They have shown their good professionals. Because if you observe the way we came from Nigeria and the way we were shuttling between this center and that center, and still we only drew 1 game. Only game 1, 2 games we had to come from behind and win. And this game today, a lot of pressure when we had the red card, but they still didn't lose their head. They still keep the character. I think they have done very well. They deserve a pat on the back. Yeah, we'll go and see how far the leg in the next 2 days, how far Atuluma, whether he can play, we cannot play. You know, he has more pain, so we don't want to exacerbate defense. That's why we take him out and if he play. And that's why even he was not playing before he had pain. So maybe in the next 2 days, he can be okay to play. Because that's the most important position, that is 2 players and they are out injured. We have some injuries, but I think we still come up with a team that can make statement. That's my belief. Now, if you remember, Morocco played Sudan. They played 0-0 game with Sudan, and if you observe, even today, Libya pushed them to the wall. But this year, because Libya maybe were too aggressive, maybe that's why they lost that game. So I think they can still be content, and they still maybe can make positive things out of the game.
Yeah, normally, just let me say, it's not as if maybe it's new, because, you know, if you call yourself a footballer, so you need to prepare your mind if anything will happen. Because you don't know, normally we don't pray for bad luck or injury, but normally we need to prepare our mind. So because normally our coach normally said to us, our lawyer, that you don't know the day that will happen. So we need to put ourselves together and 100%. Yeah, I believe because we have one language, so we call it Operation Go and Win. So definitely, by God's grace, we are going there on Sunday and win the match for Nigeria. Yeah, normally because before I left hotel, I talked to my wife. Normally because the day before yesterday, before our match against Angola, that is my wedding anniversary. So I told her that today Nigeria is going to give up victory for the celebration.
I'm happy to have given my team this pass through to the next level of this tournament, which is the final of the tournament. So I give God the glory. It's not going to be an easy game because we're playing against the home team, and so we all have to come all out and fight. And I believe with hard work and determination, we are going to get what we want. We'll get through to the finals and win the tournament. It's a collective effort. It's not just a one-man show. So if we all work together, I believe we'll come out victorious. It doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily matter who scores the goal.
All right, welcome back. Coach of the team, Salisu Yusuf. You listen to Dele Ajiboye and, of course, Gabriel Okechukwu, all of them having their say immediately after that game and already looking ahead to the final against the host, Morocco. Tune, let's go on the show. And before we talk about the final, and there's a question that's been out there. A lot of people have been asking, a lot of people, responding, having their say. So let me quickly throw it to you. Of these players that we've seen and those on the bench, I mean, you know a lot of them. Any of them good enough to be on the plane to Russia?
Any one of them good enough to be on the plane to Russia?
Maybe aside Zekechukwu Ezewa?
Well, going by his performance yesterday, Dele Ajiboye as well, because I'm still confounded and absolutely shocked why he was not named man of the match, because this was a player who was not expected to play. This was a player who had condemned his mind to the fact that he was going to sit on the bench, brought in at short notice, pulled off I counted at least 10 saves, six or seven of them capable of top drawer. I mean, at such short notice, reminiscence of a performance of a certain Sergio Goycochea in the opening match of the 1990 FIFA World Cup, who replaced Neri Pompidou after just a few minutes and went on to inspire Argentina to the final. And Dele Ajiboye was absolutely phenomenal yesterday, absolutely brilliant. Then again, we must also talk about the fact that the team has also they've overcame a tremendous amount of obstacles yesterday, injuries to key players. Yeah. Probably injury to the coach as well, because we saw the coach even limping as well. Also,
forced substitutions,
a red card, incredible fatigue. Despite all that, they managed to get the win. But we must remember that it wasn't as if the team was that good. The Super Eagles, in my own honesty, they were not that good. It was Sudan that was that bad. Nigeria was there for the taking. Time and time again, they sliced through the Nigerian defense. Time and time again, they were presented with opportunities of equalizing and winning this game. Time and time again, they fluffed their chances. They have no one to blame but themselves. But again, congratulations to the Super Eagles. They did what they had to do, dug deep, managed to get the goal that mattered, and they're in the first final.
On the flip side of what you said, if we must accept that Sudan was wasteful, then you might want to question some of those saves. You think if those players were good, they probably would have gotten the ball into the net, or even with all you said, you can't put any dent on those saves Ajiboye made in that game.
Well, the coach of the Sudanese team, Zratko Logarusic, actually just took this job like 2 months ago, so he's not really had time to really settle down and understand this team. But to be honest, Sudan is not rated in the top 10 or even top 20 of African football, so I'm not surprised. Well, definitely not in the top 10 of African football, so I'm not surprised at the performances. But these are established internationals. we have players in this Sudanese team that have as many as 65 international caps. The most cap player in the Nigerian national team is Ikechukwu Ezenwa. He has the most number of caps, and I think that's still less than 20. But even at that, you'd expect that the team of Sudan's nature, I mean, Sudan has one of the best leagues in Africa. Some of these players are top, highly paid professionals. You know, they should know about doing their job. This is professional footballers. But there was nothing professional about their approach yesterday, and they have only themselves to blame.
Okay.
I spent 5 weeks in Sudan, and in 5 weeks I had job to choose players, to organize tactic, to organize team, and to come on the tournament. I don't know, maybe I'm a magician. I think we didn't disappoint, and I think we made proud Sudanese people, and I think also we showed Sudanese players, but in the national level, we showed the quality, and I think now national team will be more respectable. And also what I think is, looks like tactically we played good, and looks like maybe I'm a bit too subjective, but I think in all those four games we played nice football, and that's what Africa likes. You know, we created lots of chances. To win the game, you have to put ball in the net. Today we didn't put ball in the net. I think I deserve draw to play extra time, but draw didn't come. Now I need a dinner, breakfast, then I'll start to think about next game. But this is a good fundament where I can build up a nice story. Let's see how Federation will react, and I have to give them report. Also, we have one more game, which we have to see, maybe to put some fresh extra players to show themselves.